share with you some sort of shortcomings, problems, challenges. And the funny thing is, I forgot that there was no rickshaw in UK. My mother has got a cousin, and before coming here, he promised me a lot of things. I spent in the UK was Harlow, selling SIM card. If you don't ask, you don't receive. Well, next question I always get is, how did you find your first job in UK? Right, that's a very good question. So to answer it, just I'd like to share with you some sort of shortcomings, problems, challenges, what I faced while I was coming to the UK. So once I got the visa, I bought a ticket from Dhaka to Heathrow. And the funny thing is, I forgot that there was no rickshaw in UK. So I bought a big black bag. There is no wheel. So just I got to carry like 35 kg or something else. That was funny thing. Anyway, so once I came to UK, I didn't have anyone to pick me up. So why I said anyone? Because my mother has got a cousin, and before coming here, he promised me a lot of things. I don't like to mention the name. So he said, like, now when you come in here, I'll give you 50,000 taka equivalent money. You can stay my home for some time. Then we can help you to find out the accommodation and all that stuff. But I don't blame him, because the life in the UK is too busy. Probably you wish a lot of things to help someone else, but you can't. Anyway, so then I was in trouble because I didn't know anybody else in the. So as you know, my dad was a high school teacher, so he has got some students. So he has got big network. So one of his students agreed to go to what is called Heathrow Airport to pick me up, and they picked me up. And I came to Harlow. First night I spent in the UK was Harlow. I stayed with them at their house, and my enrollment date was approaching, so that's why I couldn't stay. They requested me to stay a few days longer, but I had to go to Birmingham to do my enrollment at Birmingham City University. So once I went there, unfortunately I didn't have anyone else as well. So as I mentioned earlier, I used to work for Cyphers. It's an English language center. So I had one student. So her brother used to live in Wolverhampton, and he was a chef. And then because once you teach students, you become so close to them. You share a lot of things, they share a lot of things with you. And because I didn't have any option, so I asked her if she can help, and she has spoken with her brother, and that brother gave me a call, and he said, Habib bhai, don't worry about that. I live in Wolverhampton. You can stay a few days or weeks in my restaurant. I'm a chef here. Yeah, so that was the thing. So I got an accommodation to stay a few days in Wolverhampton, but the university was so far away. It's like 1 hour by bus. And finally what I did was, I was still searching for kind of help. And that's the very good thing that I'd like to share with you is, if you don't know anybody else, still say yes and figure it out later on. That's what I did. I didn't know anyone else in Birmingham, and that's how I found someone else on Brampton. I stayed there a few days, probably less than 2 weeks, and by this time I had a friend who used to live in Newcastle. So he had a friend in Birmingham, and he requested him to get an accommodation for me for a few days. And that was, funny thing is, Abu Saleh, who is now my business partner and who is in charge in Birmingham. So he gave me accommodation for a few weeks. and he also requested me to stay there as long as I want. But you know, that was my responsibility to find another accommodation and go there. So, however, he found an accommodation for me that was in Los Angeles, I mean nearby to Birmingham City University. And now I'd like to answer the question: how did I find the first job? Who's gonna give you the job if you don't know someone else? So the secret of receiving something is asking. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So I asked Abu Saleh, so where should I find a job? Whom should I talk to? And his wife, she is a good-hearted person, I should say. She has got a very beautiful soul. She, in my eyes, I have seen a lot of help she did to international students. So she found a job for me, not a couple of jobs. So one of them was distributing leaflets into different households. So the first job in Birmingham was distributing leaflets from a pizza shop to different areas. And then I was still searching, and then he asked me to go for an interview. There was selling SIM card from Now Mobile. It's like a Libera, GiveGov, something like this. Right, so my responsibility was to sell 5 SIM cards at least in a day, to going to different places and chasing after people and sell them instantly. Right, so yeah, that was my first and second job I found through reference. So if you know someone else, always ask for the reference. And also the same thing we do is we help a lot of international students to come to this country. Once they come here, we have got a WhatsApp group as well. So we always recommend them ask in the WhatsApp group, and we also see that they are helping each other. If they have a vacancy, always they refer to someone else who is international students. And this is how we are building a community in WhatsApp group and in the Facebook group as well. So hopefully you'll love this answer. Though it's in details, it's gonna help you a lot to make a decision in further. Thanks for watching.